Alright, hello everybody. Welcome to another adventure with the Traveling Roadman. And we have a special treat for you today. It's not a hike. It's not anything like that. It's not a high point. It is a roadside attraction. It's called the Museum of Everyday Life. And it's not a regular museum, as you would say. I'll show you what I mean in a second. But just a little fun little thing that we can check out. It's way up here in northern rural Vermont. Very remote, but it should be a lot of fun. Alright, so here it is, the Museum of Everyday Life. So they take just ordinary things, and their mission is glorious obscurity. So this should be fun. They have a large pair of scissors out front, rusted up. There's a piece of knotted rope there. And if you go out here, looks like some kind of brush or a toothbrush. Alright, so turn on the lights here. So if you were the first one here, you would turn on all three lights, but lights are already on. So here's a little history. The metal key, the giant scissors, and the toothbrush were made by Vermont artist Martin McGowan. He has temporarily loaned us these sculptures, but they are for sale. So if you want to buy any of those sculptures you just see, contact that number and he can get in touch with you. But don't turn on those light switches though. Those are the ones you want to turn on. So let's see what we got here. These are found objects in the barn. New England barn found objects. You got horseshoes. You got Drake's The Singing Bluebird. Okay. Press the white button to hear the blue. Let's see him sing. I don't think that works. No, that doesn't work. I don't know what this is. The bells. This little thing here. Scary little thing in the back. Enter at your own risk. Alright, there's a toilet seat here. Alright. The Museum of Everyday Life. So let's go check this out. What is this? Oh my goodness. So these are different. These are different pencils from the 1950s. This is in the museum's permanent collection. Toothbrush. So today they are featuring the toothbrush. Different kinds. We're installing several baby's toothbrush with replaceable head. This is from the museum's permanent collection. Interesting. So that object was stolen. Someone stole it from the Museum of Everyday Life. Okay. Toothbrush memorabilia. Different kinds of toothbrushes. That is interesting little feature there. What are these? Red layer floss. It's an alligator. So someone had this toothbrush when they realized that something was smoking. Telling I'm morning, I held this toothbrush in my blade. It's a bunch of used toothbrushes there. Alright, here's some more scissors. These are anthropomorphic scissors. Asking if these scissors fixable. I guess someone sent him a message. Here's some stone scissors and wooden scissors and whatever this thing is. And these are matchboxes, all sorts of matchboxes, the dogs, matches from around the world. These are from the from the permanent collection. Fiddle. Some more safety pins. Safety pins. These are made into animals. So that's like a peacock. That's a swan or heron, probably. What is that thing? That's a horse. It's a dog. This delightful menagerie, discovered in an England barn, was once rumored to have been a creation of Felix Klee, son of artist Paul Klee, created in his daughter husband. Insomnia kept him up at night. This rumor has since been disproved, and the provenance of these safety pin animals remains a mystery. So, don't know where these safety pin animals came from, but I think it's someone made them. It's a frog cutting scissors. And this is interesting here. So this is a curtain made of safety pins. But this is what these are. These are all safety pins. Oh, that is interesting. Vanity. This is all about vanity. So we have two mirrors here. The kaleidoscope mirror. Got some clocks. Mirror that's etched. So here's a broken mirror, which gives you 7 years of bad luck. So this museum always features a certain item to get in more depth and history of. So now it is the knot. So this room is all about knots. The history of knots, the different kind of knots. So this is that's a knot sculpture of a knot. Afraid Not Fairy. Democracy. Here we go. Here's a knot tying game. So you can tie the knots correctly. There's a plethora of knot tying games exist, each essentially challenging players to prove their mastery and earn points for each knot successfully tied. This deck of knot tying challenge cards is formulated for fishermen, a fun way to pass hours while waiting for the next big catch. This is from the museum's permanent collection. Here's the first knot is usually when you tie your shoes. There's Boy Scout knots. Here's a knot board. So see if you can see the different kinds of knots here. The overhand, the clove hitch, the square knot, the figure eight. You know, all sorts of these knots. And then 1/2 hitch. And these are actually on loan from John Scher of Philadelphia. So you can read that. Here's a ancient city of Frisa. This is the Gordian knot. It's a three-dimensional representation of Encyclopedia Britannica's explanation of the legend of the Gordian knot by artist and director Peter Sherman at the Bread and Puppet Theater. Here's another example of knots. Different. There's a knot lamp. You know, these all holding There's an Amish knot rug. Macrame. Alright. And who could for guys? You tie a knot. It's a bow tie. And neckties. And here's an orangutan who ties knots. Watana. Huh. Alright, here is a book of knots. So everything you want to know about knots, here is single bowline knots, the slip knot, the ring king and gut knot. This book, the actual book of knots, is the Knot Bible for knot enthusiasts. So if you are enthusiasts of knots, you have to have this. This is all about tying it, what the 4 single strand button knots. This is the Knot Bible. And let's not forget, probably for some of you the most important knot, the bondage knot. Knotted bondage wear. Of course, you can read that. I don't have to go in for that, but it's another interesting course that you have to, that's a different knot tying altogether. Of course, surgical knots. See, you know the only knots. Of course, knotted hair. Knotted hairstyles. When you braid your hair, you're essentially tying it in knots. Go over here. There's decorative knots. Oh, and Chinese knots. Interesting. I guess the Chinese have different knots to tie. Composting toilet. Alright, so that's the toilet, the compost. This is shuchumi. That refers to Japanese tradition of gift giving and the wrapping gifts with knotted materials. So you would give a gift in Japan and you would tie it up in knots, like this, something like these, like that there, like that. I like the eggs, all tied up in knots. You know, champagne bottles or wine bottles. And my favorite type of knot, the tangles and the snarls. Who hasn't got this knot? Of course, this will look different for everybody, but whenever you want to untie something and it gets like your electrical outlet or something, this is a special class of knot, is the anarchic knot, otherwise known as a tangle. Certain household objects particularly lend themselves to this kind of spontaneous and anarchic knot occurrence. Who hasn't wrestled with an unruly garden hose and wanted the diabolical nature of this phenomenon? On display here, this is a classic extension cord snarl and spontaneous earbud tangle from the permanent collection. And here's the earbud. Of course, that gets tangled all the time. This is the String Finger Association. Man, some good stuff here. Oh, what is this? Mary? Oh, that's the Mary, the Untier of Knots. So I guess if you get something knotted, so for those who are not familiar, Mary is the mother of Jesus, and she has there's different Marys for different ailments. But this is the Mary. You can pray to this Mary, and if you have a knot that needs to be untied, she can help you out with that. Yes, the umbilical cord knot. That's interesting. Okay, and that's a little graphic. It's a spell for those of you not magic. That's a different kind of spiritual knots. A hair knot. So there is a companion museum to this, the Bread and Puppet Museum, which is just down the road in Glover. So we're going to go check that out. And the Main Street Museum in White River Junction, Vermont. I'm not sure where that is. I have to check that out. Another thing to put on a list here. But so yeah, there's your history. Your history of love. So you learn all today about knots, and this is a mirror dress. So if your ladies want to wear that out, they have one here in the museum. And I'm not sure what this is. This is a bear that's been stabbed with some knives. All right then. All right, there you have it. The Museum of Everyday Life. All right, so there was a tour of the Museum of Everyday Life. Interesting, not my usual episode, but loads of fun. And if you're a lover of roadside attraction, quiche little things, and you're in northern Vermont, come check this out. So I'm going to, based on what they do, we're going to turn off these lights. So that's what the instruction says. Donate if you can, and don't forget to turn out the lights. So that's what we did, and we'll leave this for the next person to come and check that all in those. Check that out all in glory. All right, there it is. The Museum of Everyday Life, embarking on a mission of glorious obscurity.